The Magedom of Fedor is a mostly undeveloped country on the west coast of Espa, with the vast majority of it covered by the Great Forest of Fedor. Through talks with Lawrence and Doric, who are both from the area, you have learned that the Magedom has been fighting a protracted war against a northern territory known as Haye's Call. This territory is mostly inhabited by Gnolls, with a handful of other peoples scattered about. Many years ago, Lawrence fought in the Mage's army against the Gnollish territories, but found himself questioning his morality, eventually causing his desertion from the military. The party has been on the trail from the city of Krobin headed to the town of Mirain for the past few days. During those days, Doric managed to create a new arcane firing mechanism for miniaturized firearms, which he dubbed the Glyphlock. Once your party crossed a bridge into Fedoran territory, it only took a few hours until you were noticed by a roving band of archers, who ambushed you. Upon noticing that these archers were members of the Riverpaw clan of Gnolls, both Doric and Lawrence attempted to end the fight peacefully. With a surprising display of willpower, or a miracle, Lawrence summoned a divine font of energy in the form of a universal translator and a commanding illusion of Lawrence the Were-Hyena. With this, the Gnolls ceased their attack and, slightly reluctantly, agreed to offer a path to their camp. Two Gnolls opened a portal through a large tree, and the party stepped through. On the other side, you find yourself in a large clearing, with very dense trees and underbrush surrounding. Tents made of leather and fur scatter the clearing, with a few larger buildings made of thick logs and foliage near the center. The sound of cackling and distinct consonant-heavy language filters through, but what grabs your attention the most are the two line formations of Gnolls flanking you as you emerge from the tree, pole arms pointed directly at the four of you. Some of them jeer, and one of them says something in a language that only Lawrence can interpret as, "Nice capture." And then, "Who's the ugly green one?" "The world is yours."
I'm just gonna put my hands up and look to the Gnolls that are escorting us.
You're still in your Were-Hyena form.
Oh shit! I thought I was back to half work.
You can, if you would like to, you can attempt to shift back. Up to you.
I don't know. What do you guys think? What should I do?
If Lawrence is if you're in control, then might as well just keep it up. Even if they know that you're kind of a weird one, they might be more inclined to fairness if looking at their own.
Technically not Gnoll face, so it's fine.
That took me a minute.
Race faking. Okay, so...
Alright, I guess I'll maintain my Gnoll form, and I can't talk when I'm in this form, right?
You can.
It's just garbled?
It's just kind of, like, slurred. You're not... It's like, since Lawrence isn't quite used to speaking with a mouthful of fangs and, you know, a maw, it's just kind of, like, slurred like that.
Alright,
He could probably get used to it with some time.
I guess I'll probably stay in Were-Hyena form and look to the Gnolls to lead the conversation.
Is everyone else doing something similar?
Yeah, Doric is leading the carriage through.
Oh, then, as you
just
turn...
letting... Sorry.
Go ahead.
He's just letting the Gnolls guide him to where he needs to go.
The leader of the archer band that is taking you guys in, the tallest one, wears a sort of gold circlet on their head that is pierced through both their ears, that kind of fixes it to their forehead. Would you remember their name is Akyx? Turns to the person, the Gnoll, that is jeering at you guys and just snarls at them, kind of like lets out like a bark, bear's fang, and the two Gnolls immediately get back in line and shut the fuck up.
Could you spell that Gnoll's name for me?
Sure. Akyx space. Last name is Leafstain. Leafstain.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Akyx, she speaks up and says, "They are here to speak with the Matriarch. These are not captives. Yet." And they kind of, from behind, you get a fist kind of prodded into your back, forcing you guys forward. You get the sense that you're not captured, but you're also not entirely free. You guys press on past the flanking soldiers, and the two gnolls that led you through the trees lead the carriage and you guys through the middle of the camp. And this looks like a rather temporary camp. You still see some gnolls setting up tents and whatnot. And you also see other races. It's not just gnolls. It's the vast majority of them. You're looking at probably 80-90% are gnolls. But there are a handful of other races. Mostly what would be in air quotes civilized society would be considered monstrous races, but there are a handful of, orcs, goblins, I think there's one or two Goliaths, but you're looking at probably like 100 or so people in this area, maybe 200. Is anyone doing anything else while you guys are prodded forward?
Not on my end.
Do these people look like they're like sort of habitating this place as a sort of town, or is it all just like a sort of nomadic group?
Give me either investigation or history check.
That is a 27 investigation.
27. This is definitely nomadic in nature. None of these tents are designed to be permanent, although the building kind of gives you pause for a little bit, but it is, on closer inspection as you guys near the front doors, it is hastily constructed. It is clearly meant to be temporary. And this is all lining up with what you have heard of this clan from the Riverpaw.
From what I remember, they were like one of the only clans to really trade with quote-unquote outsiders, right?
The Riverpaw or the
Mosshide.
The Mosshide, they did. I keep hearing my voice in your microphone, hon.
I'm off.
Okay, that's weird. Maybe it's not your microphone then. They did trade, last you heard, very, very minorly. Not with the Fedoran military, but with outsiders from outside the magedom. You're not sure if that's still the case. It's been a couple years. It's been several years now.
Actually, was there any... I really should have asked this quite some time ago. Did any of the clans ever trade with Gearvine?
Give me a history check.
Uh, 13.
You've never heard of that happening. Gearvine was well within the Great Forest of Fedor. Even seeing gnolls this far in is rare from what you remember. But you've never heard of anything of these peoples trading with Gearvine.
Okay. I have nothing more.
Okay. As you guys are led into the building, two guards open these large wooden doors, and inside you see a long corridor that kind of rises up at the end to a podium where there's a large chair made out of wood, like wooden sticks and bones in a sort of if you like put your hands together and curl them up, kind of like a crown, the chair kind of looks like that. And sitting on this throne is a very large gnoll that has mostly gray hair, striped fur. She looks about 8 feet tall, and she has these elegant draped robes of green and black, with a, similar to Akix, has a golden metal plate that kind of covers their forehead. This one is way more extravagant, drops down to the eyes, and has thin eye slots that let her see out. And around her you see like 4 to 5 smaller gnolls just tending to whatever she wants them to. Feeding her food, cleaning her robes, her chair, fanning her, whatever.
In my time with the Riverpaws, do gnolls have like a traditional way of greeting someone, especially like a matriarch?
The
Or is a bow good?
Give me another history check. Yeah.
I also try to recall.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
That's a 14.
14.
17.
17. Okay, the traditional... Doric first. The traditional way that you're familiar with for the Riverpaw is sort of just like hands and feet on the ground, kind of like a bow. You're not sure about other clans. You know that other clans have different customs, but you're not sure this one. And Lawrence, you know that this one in your military training, the Mosshide clan, you know that the Mosshide and the Black Fang clan both enjoy gifts, specifically of food, as a sort of greeting. Especially to one as high as the Matriarch. And she doesn't even pay much attention to you as you guys enter. Your escort of the archer band, led by Akix, filter in behind you, close the doors, and then immediately stand up straight. And you don't realize how much these gnolls have been hunched over. Like they're pretty hunched, but as they stand up straight in front of their matriarch, they rise to a good 7 feet tall. and then they stand still.
Sticking to what Dork knows, and to also show that he does in fact know the Riverpaw, he will perform the traditional greetings the Riverpaws show to him, and just say, Matriarch, I am unfamiliar with what else to call you.
You should not speak unless spoken to.
Dork will just look at the other party members and not talk then.
She will she will look at all four of you now and point a large clawed finger at you, Lawrence, and gesture you to come here. She beckons you.
He walks over.
Feed me.
I do not have a meal worthy of you at the moment, but give me a bit of time. I will happily hunt something and bring it back to you, if it is what you desire.
Ah. Holukstokta. Snonekta. Akix. Akix responds in a similar angered tone to the matriarch, and then immediately kind of bows again. And you realize, Lawrence, that they just kind of exchanged a, "What the fuck did you bring me? These are not good servants, I'll have them killed." And Akix responds that they have something important for you. Which clan are you from?
Can I recall which of the clans I was most involved in during my time with the Fedoran military?
Sure, give me another history check.
Fuck. Alright, that's an 18.
Stoneclaw was the name of the clan that you slaughtered.
Okay.
I am not associated with any clan at the moment. I actually have a history. I am formerly an enemy of Gnoll clans, specifically the
Sorry, wait, what was the name of that one again?
No worries, the Stoneclaw.
specifically the Stoneclaw. But I have spent a long time and reflected much since then. I now realize that the people and the organizations that I was helping, that was working against the Gnolls, are my enemy. And I imagine they are your enemy as well. You may know them as the Daybreak Society.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh god, that's horrible. I'm gonna add a d4 for guidance. Alright, so that is a 15.
As you stand before her on the steps up to her chair, and faster than you can blink, she has ripped herself out of the chair and thrown one leg right into your shoulder as a kick brings you to the ground. What is your AC currently?
19.
Okay, let's see.
Although, I think in this instance, even if he sees her coming, he will not try to dodge.
Okay.
He will just take any hits that she gives to him.
Okay. That's an 18. So it would have would have been able to dodge. It still would have connected, but you would have been able to block it with your shield if you wanted. You choose not to. It connects and you crash to the ground head first. So that now she is almost standing on top of you with one leg pressed right into your back.
Can I ask how much damage I take?
Yeah, sure. You would take... I was not going to roll damage, but now that you mention it. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Gotcha. He is going to... So she's like pinning me down, right?
Pretty much, yep.
He is going to not struggle to get out of this position, and he's going to try to maintain as much eye contact with the matriarch as possible. And show like a look of he's trying not to look fearful. He's trying to take away any fear he has and just display a kind of sorry, my stutter is fucking being
Devotion?
terrible right now. He's trying to look determined.
Oh, okay. Determined. Okay. In that case, give me a wisdom saving throw. Does that sound fair? I think it does.
I have an amazing wisdom saving throw. I'll take that. 16.
Okay. What could you possibly know about what happened with Stoneclaw Clan?
I was there. I was someone who killed so many because I was told to. Because I thought it would make me a man. Now I see that it made me nothing. It made me a child. It made me a slave.
It did make you a man. Despicable. She's going to turn to the rest of you three, Doric, Ember, and Emrys. Why should I not slay him where he grovels for this insolence?
Because we are guests in your court. Do you really propose that we who come here in peace and, well, grovel in front of you say, and that is your hospitality? Murder? I would have expected better. I expect better. Or, you know, all those terrible stereotypes true? Because that is truly the behavior of barbarians. Treat your guests like...
You are not guests here. You are captives.
That's funny. No, we came here willingly. We put down our weapons and followed. We are guests.
She turns to the side and whispers to someone. And two gnolls come from the sides, grab you, Ember, by your arms. And begin to pick you up and take you away.
I cast Dimension Door.
Where do you Dimension Door to?
I literally just Dimension Door like 5 feet away from them. I just put my hands up. No. Don't touch it. Is that how you treat people who disagree with you? Get your goons to take them away. Badly, by the way, I might add. We are here to talk. We come here in the best of intentions. And a little bit of goodwill is all we ask for. Don't touch me again. Please, and thank you.
I'm gonna cast message. And then Marissa's just gonna like very clearly side-eye Ember. I don't think we can win this one.
Dork will sigh and look to the matriarch and say, I have traveled with this one for quite some time now. The suffering he has been put through because of his actions will haunt him for the rest of his life. Even the divine has cursed him to look into a mirror and see that which he once wronged. I don't think there's any honor in killing someone like that.
I don't think they care about honor, Dork. And Marissa's like whispering to you.
He speaks in Abyssal to Axios, which, Lawrence, only you can understand as... You really, really fucked up this time.
Dork, I have an idea.
Dork will glance at Emrys.
There will be no more casting of spells from you. We could have you all slaughtered, should we want. The only chance that you get out here alive is showing some goddamn respect and proving your use to me.
If I might add.
No, you may not add.
Okay.
That was rhetorical. No.
No.
She holds up a hand.
Emrys, not now.
She holds up a hand and casts a spell. All these vines and rocks, spikes grow from the ground beneath you, Ember, and grasp onto you, completely enveloping you in thorny vines. Give me a strength saving throw.
12.
That fails. So you are restrained, you're also muted as the vines fill your mouth, and you are also suffocating. You also take a total of... That's not the right spell. Let me roll this. $19 bludgeoning damage as you are crushed. Now,
Esteemed, could I please have a moment? I swear. I beg for a little bit of your time.
you have until he suffocates.
I don't think we have anything outwardly that we can offer you. Clearly there's nothing from us that you really need. So if anything that we would provide would... I have a gambit. A challenge, if you would humor me.
Another 12 bludgeoning to you, Ember.
No!
I'm
Okay,
listening.
What if you let us free and we will... He's like throwing his hands in the air. Cook you the best meal you've had in the past year.
Dork will also look at you very confused.
Emerus is like
Akix,
glances at
why?
you like you clearly he has no ideas.
Akix, why did you bring these nuisances into my court?
We seek to go to Mirain.
Yes, that is what they told me.
We wish to go there, and I wish to shed blood there. Something that you might be interested in.
Lucky roll, 11 bludgeoning damage to you, Emperor. Continue.
The people that we hunt, people that I've hunted for years, are hiding there, doing something. They've stolen something very important to me, and I will have their blood and their heads. However, we were stopped on the road. Instead of fighting and killing, we decided to speak. Your right hand agreed to this. And let us
Akix
through.
is far from my right hand. But
Whatever he is.
I shall entertain this silly idea of yours. You claim to want to go to Mirain, yet you know nothing of what occurs there. How will you get into the city?
We have many ways of getting into everywhere.
Is that so? Bypassing the shield that encompasses the entire city is one of those abilities, you say?
I don't know about a shield, but we all managed to even infiltrate the great incomparable walls of the high and mighty of Tano.
Oh, please. Those were built by men. I could get through if I wanted.
Have you been to Carceri?
I have not. But in the 20 or so years that we have been part of this conflict, no one has been able to breach that barrier.
So there's a magical barrier up around the entirety of Mirain.
I should have expected this from you, but yes, there is. The vines have loosened around you, Ember, so that you only take an additional 5 bludgeoning damage.
Only? Okay.
I have heard that you have dealt with the Riverpaw clan, little one.
Indeed I have.
I believe we may have something in mind for you then.
I am listening.
Should your companions not follow proper etiquette here, I believe you know what will happen. Will you promise me that they will behave?
Dork will look at the rest of the party, each looking at everyone in the eyes and staring, giving a very hard, glare at Ember. Yes.
Give me a persuasion check.
I shall, as long as your people do not antagonize my own.
We shall see.
Ooh, that is a 22.
The vines retract from around you, Ember. Your mouth is bloodied and full of spines. And she steps finally off your back, Lawrence, and you never realized how much you were holding your breath until she does. And she sits back down in her throne and holds a hand up while one of her servants brings her what looks like a plate of meat or something. He chews, swallows, and then says, "The Riverpaw have been investigating a potential way through the barrier. I have only heard minimal of it. We are not as close as we once were. I could send you to them to discuss it further."
Then we would be grateful.
Is that all you would be? Would you die to show your honor? Your regret of your past misdeeds? Your inherent sins?
This isn't about any of that.
Oh,
I
it is
simply
to
wish
me.
to do this.
If you succeed, there may be victory for all clans yet. And if you should fail, I expect you not to give up until you do succeed, or you are rotting in the ground. I'm sure you know that we are expert trackers. There will be nowhere you can hide from us.
We aren't in the business of giving up.
Is there anything else any of you want to say other than you? Pointing at Ember.
This may not be clear because of the circumstances and the sides that we have found ourselves on in the past, but I want to make as clear as I can that we are indeed allies, at least when it comes to being against the Daybreak Society. We will break this barrier, and we will work with you, and we will bring an end to them together.
We shall see. For now,
I have one last question.
For now, you are nothing more than servants of my will. And you
That's
best
good then.
agree with your place.
If being a servant to you puts us in the way of the Daybreak Society, then I will grovel at your feet. I will do whatever you ask.
You keep saying that term, this Daybreak Society. This is news to me. Are they connected with the Iron Hunger?
I am the Iron Hunger. And
No.
the Daybreak Society
You-
was what made the Iron Hunger.
No, don't speak over me. You are simply a part, a cog, a twig in the tree. You're not the Iron Hunger.
Can I, at that, revert back into a half-orc?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
I change back into my usual form.
Is this more familiar to you?
He,
Is this what you know is the Iron Hunger?
he clenches, like her fist on the arm, or the arm of the chair for a little bit. A false face to gather sympathy from me. Is this what it is?
It is not a false face. That face is as much myself as this one is. That face I have earned through my sins and through the pain I have caused. And that face is the one that I will wear as I right the wrongs of that pain. It is just as much me as this one.
Explain. Why do you wear our face? Who gave you that face?
There is... Have you heard of a god known as the Spirit of the Hunt?
Wait, sorry, was it the Spirit of the Hunt? It's something of the hunt.
It was the Spirit of the Hunt. I believe so.
Known as the Spirit of the Hunt, among other names. He is the embodiment of ferocity.
I know
And
of
he
spirits that can... I know of spirits. Continue.
I met the spirit, and that spirit, it turns people into lycanthropes. It adds transformation into our very living. And when I spoke with the Spirit of the Hunt, he had decided that it was my calling to embody this form, as he gave me this transformation as part of my life. It is both someone new, someone I have yet to learn about, and yet it is someone I am very well acquainted with. This face, this new body. And I hold it with pride, not shame.
You should hold it with shame. It is a curse for your sins.
and I hold it with pride, with the knowledge and with the promise that I make to myself to right the wrongs that I have done. And I have already done so. I have already been living my life trying to right those wrongs every second, every day. I do my best to try to make sure that all people, regardless of how they look, the people that they associate with, and the places they were born, are able to live their lives as they please. And I understand that the Daybreak Society and the Iron Hunger, who I was, are enemies to that.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh, nice. 21. I also, if I can give myself guidance, that bumps it up to a 25.
Okay. You speak our tongue. You wear our face. You have been burdened with a curse that is slightly apt for your past sins. Should your words be true, and your compatriots' words be true, I believe you can work excellence for this clan. I do not speak this much normally. You should be honored that you're in my presence for as long as you have been. I grow tired, though, of your presence. I will send you to the Riverpaw clan. You will agree with whatever their matriarch asks of you. In doing so, in service to them, you will be in service to us. And until otherwise, you shall remain in service to us. Until this conflict is resolved and you have repaid back all of your crimes. In death or duty. These are my commands. You will execute them. You do not get a choice.
Very well, then.
I assure you I will do everything in my power to make sure that this job is done. And even though you may not want it, I am telling you, this is an opportunity I would never pass up. Even if you were not forcing my hand. If you had simply asked me to do this, I would go through it with the same fervor that I do, knowing that my life is on the line.
That is what I appreciate. Perhaps after these events transpire, you may call yourself a member of this clan. Very well.
That would be
You may leave.
Lawrence gives a bow similar to the one Doric did, not really knowing if there is a bow that is more appropriate for this clan, and he leaves.
You are all escorted out by the same guards that brought you in, along with Akyx. Ember and Emrys, are you guys doing anything as you were escorted out?
Walking quickly.
I prepare an action to kick Ember if he says anything mean.
I don't look at anyone, I don't say anything, I just leave.
As you guys leave and the doors close behind you, Akyx just kind of gets a claw and just absolutely lays into you, Ember.
Whoa.
Does a...
Wait, like he's like attacking Ember?
Yeah, she is. Does a 15 hit?
Yeah, meets it, yeah. I'm AC 15. Sure.
Can I try to hold Akyx back?
You... yeah, give me an initiative check.
God. I hope I don't regret this. 5?
Nope, that fails. You're too slow. They rolled a 9. So still not that great, but Ember, you are going to you're going to take another 5 bludgeoning damage.
Uncanny dodge.
So okay, 2 bludgeoning damage.
Why not?
How dare you act that way? Tarnish my reputation in front of Vokor.
What, did I say that? I didn't notice.
Fill a book with the things you don't notice in life.
Ow. I mean, that would hurt, but
You
that's
should
just
be
wildly
glad you
natural.
are still
I'm a
breathing.
loudmouth, I'm not an idiot.
Doric will step in between both of them and just say, "Enough! There will be no more antagonizing from anyone else. We have work to do."
For a rightful reason.
Okay, calm down. I will slit your throat and I'll laugh while you bleed out. Calm down. Okay?
Ember.
I was choked out
Please.
by a vine. I'm the victim here.
Nobody needs to be the victim. We are allies in this.
Believe one of you when you say that.
Well, he is an ally of mine.
We shall
So if you
see.
trust me, then you need to trust him. Despite his disregard for your customs. And I apologize for his disregard of your customs.
No, you
But
don't. Don't you
he-
apologize for me. I'm not sorry. Oh, you're there.
Regardless, he is on the same side as us. He is an ally of mine, and thus he is an ally of yours, and you will not hurt him.
You. You will not tell me what to do. You will not tell me who my allies are. And what to think about your disgust for this clan. But Vokor has her wishes, and they will be executed. I follow my leader. You should take a lesson. We will send you We will send you to the Ibaxcus. Post haste. And she is going to call over, or she's going to kind of go into an adjacent wooden building, and bring out another smaller Gnoll. Smaller is relatively speaking. He's still like 6 foot.
Still big man.
It's still big men, yeah. But you notice that all of the men here are typically in subservient roles. And regardless, he brings out this scroll and holds it up to, or a tome, and holds it up to Akix, who, without speaking out loud, just kind of reads the script on the page. Some spell gets cast. Lawrence, give me an Arcana check.
You got it. I have ass Arcana. And that was a semi-ass roll. That's an 8.
You feel like this spell is familiar, but you can't quite place it.
A 9 doesn't make any difference, does it?
No, it does not.
Yeah.
You watch as Akix speaks in Abyssal Gnollish, which you translate as you don't get, there's some words you don't get, you've never heard them before, but it's like send and then a noun or something, like send something to us, we have a new option in this conflict. And the words kind of, as she speaks the words, sigils begin to apparate out of her mouth and float up and dissolve into the ether. It is done. We shall wait for them to arrive. You should be lucky that the Iabexcus are much more friendly, regardless of how irritating it makes us feel.
Dork won't say anything. He'll just stare and not say anything. He's kind of just done.
Also, for all the, I notice I'm making a lot of grammatical errors when I speak and roleplay, because I haven't roleplayed in fucking forever, and we will just say they are not fluent in common. Anyway.
That's valid. We love and respect that from the character.
Are you guys doing anything while you wait?
Love and respect the character.
Are you guys doing anything while you wait, or are you just kind of like sitting on your asses in the middle of camp?
Dork is going to make sure that the carriage and our mounts will are secure and no one's messing with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one is. Akix's archers have been kind of guarding it.
Oh yeah, Dork is keeping a very close eye on the carriage. That is his baby.
Is Dearest in the carriage?
Yeah, he's in the carriage.
I just realized we haven't talked to him this session. Very well. Anyone else doing anything?
I think Lawrence will ask Akix how long she estimates we'll be waiting here.
No more than a few minutes, typically. The river is already established.
Very well.
And he will just stand there waiting.
And after about, 2 or 3 minutes, you guys are just kind of looking around, and it happens very strangely at first. It's out of the corner of your eye. You just see this like slight waver to the air around this one area, and as you turn to look at it, it completely goes away. Like you can only see it out of the corner of your eye, and then it blurs a little bit, and then where there was nothing, suddenly there's just two small gnolls, and now I say small as in actually small. They are about 3 or 4 feet tall. They're just standing there. It's like they apparated out of nothing.
Dork will smile when they appear.
Yes, Dork, you are quite familiar with these gnolls. They have much softer faces. They got the same. They have very similar to stripes that the gnolls holding you, well, captive are, but they have this. I'll just send a picture.
Yeah, pictures.
Give me a second.
Their baby. They're silly.
Aw.
My God,
They're hardwolves.
there's so many AI
I love their
images.
big ass ears.
Yeah. They are so two of these these gnolls appear, and that I can't focus if we're doing this. Two of these gnolls appear from nothing, and one of them speaks up in the Bissell Gnollish that, Lawrence, you can interpret as, "So, who are we taking back?" Akix responds, "These 4, and their carriage. I hope that is all right. They have..."
Dork will step up.
Doric, you don't know this language.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
I hope this will make the pass easy. They have business with Kretier. Doric, you do recognize that word, Kretier.
He will take a little sigh of relief because he was going to ask the matriarch if she was still alive from the conflict, but didn't have time.
Very well. The smaller gnolls will begin to kind of walk up to you guys and say in very broken common, "You travel with us?"
I will say, I'm guessing that with their magical connections, they speak Sylvan, right?
You don't know.
Did Doric speak Sylvan with them when he visited them before?
A little bit. Some people do.
Okay, then never mind. I'll just do common. Aye, that's us.
You cause no issues.
I've traveled with the Riverpaws before. You'll find no trouble from me, and no one else, and I'll look at the other people in the party.
If they don't start none, I'm not gonna start none.
Lawrence gives Ember like a sort of like a pleading stare.
The Riverpaws
Puppy dog
are very
eyes.
different. The Riverpaws are very different from the Mosshide in my experience.
God, then we're gonna get along.
Board your wagon.
Dork will hop on to the front seat to secure the horses and other equines.
Horses, mules, donkeys.
I like how you say plural as if we don't just have one of each.
They are pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
When did I miss that plot?
Can they interbreed? Are they?
Horses and donkeys can make mules. Mules cannot make babies.
Okay, so a mule is a horse and a donkey. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Unless there is a secret third way they appear, I am unaware of.
Sometimes they'll just spawn in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
usually in groups of 3 or 4.
When two mules love each other very much and look very deeply into each other's eyes, a third spawns, like in Minecraft.
Mitosis. Okay, you guys board the wagon, and the little Riverpaw gnolls begin to take out a stick of sorts. It's kind of like a glowing, softly green-white stick, and they begin to draw runes all over the wagon and on the horses. And then they hold out, or they kind of want. I didn't tell this right. Hold on. A lot of this is improv. Can you tell?
Actually, no.
They ask for your palms, and they draw a certain symbol on your palms. It's kind of like a magical symbol. And then they begin to cast a spell that has the same effect of this kind of the blurring, wavering air in the corner of your eye in front of the wagon, and you look directly at it, and it's just completely normal. And they say, "Forward."
Dork will nudge the horses forward.
And as you do so, you watch as what was the normal wooded area of the Mosshide camp blurs and fades from view, and what replaces it is a brilliant green and blue path through a forest. The path is long and straight and flat, and overhead the trees arch in this perfect canopy overhead, so that it looks like it almost looks like a perfect circle of the branches overhead. And we will take a break there, as I need to get more water and prep more RP.
Yippee!
Yippee.
BRB. Back to the game. Is everyone back and ready to begin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys have just finished meeting with the Matriarch of the Mosshide clan, and just barely managed to survive her wrath after speaking out of turn. Ember Delight.
Yeah.
And are now traveling
It was
through.
my turn. I was just rude.
And have now been taken by two smaller gnolls from the Riverpaw clan through what looks like a magical forest. You trundle on through the path. They are walking side by side next to the carriage. And it looks like this path goes on forever. And you turn around, and it looks like it goes on forever behind you as well. There's no point of like where you came out. What are you guys doing?
I'm sorry, all I can imagine is being in the Nether in Minecraft, and you've got one of those fucking highways that you're walking across. So fast.
Yeah,
It's a
shortcut.
It's a similar vibe, kind of.
DM, I placed my boat on the packed ice.
The Nether.
Nether.
Nether hat.
Steel.
No, oh, we can't do this.
I am Steve.
No.
I get that you know what this is. You don't even watch movies.
It's Minecraft movie. Come on. Everyone knows
You're
about it.
anti-movie.
Also, I'm online on social medias, unfortunately.
This is true. Yeah.
Okay. Is anyone doing anything while you are traveling
Dork
this?
is going to stick his head through the window because he is, drawing the carriage. And he will just say, like, alright, that was terrible. I never want to meet that matriarch ever again. But, well, I haven't seen the Riverpaws in quite some time, but last time I saw them, they were very amicable and quite friendly. Don't know if the conflict has worsened for them, but hopefully we'll get along. Alright, so let's not be mean to this matriarch, okay?
Hey, I wasn't mean before she started being mean. I was responding to the situation. Then I got choked. So I feel like
Listen,
I'm not the worst aggressor here.
I mean, I know it's that woman was awful, to put it lightly. And if she ever tries to if I meet her again and she tries to give me another damn order, then perhaps the Mosshides might have to find a new leader, because I don't want to speak to her again.
Yeah, it's good. Well, listen, we can't make friends with everybody.
See, this is why I don't understand the whole pay respect to some leader that you don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Respect, fine, whatever, but she didn't really deserve it that much.
She seemed very prideful and greedy and hungry.
That's just kings or queens or whatever. Matriarch, I think they call it, whatever rulers are. That's the kind of standard.
Matriarch. But Lawrence, did you really want to be a part of their clan?
If I could, I'd be a part of every Gnoll clan.
I don't think that would really work out. I'm pretty sure other clans around here would probably just kill you on sight if they saw that. Well, if they see you, they'd probably kill you on sight. If they saw that you were a were-hyena, they would probably do all sorts of terrible things before killing you.
Let me rephrase. If I could, I would be a member of every Gnoll clan with the understanding that maybe I can do something, we can work something out to bring peace to the Gnoll clans. There's a need to fight with anybody.
Well, as much as I wish that were possible, I mean, the clans really, really don't like each other, and I barely even know a lot about many of the other ones. I mean, from what I've known, even the Mosshides, I've heard that they weren't as bad, but I mean, they almost killed us. And that, well, a lot of their friendliness also can be changed with whatever that mage wants.
The mage?
Yeah, the mage of the magedom.
Oh. Well, what's to say I don't know. There's so much corruption, so much abuse of power in this world. I don't really know what I can do to stop it, but I feel like turning down allyship and turning down identification with any group, regardless of how terrible their leader is, I don't think that's helping anybody.
Well, just give it some time. We're not going to fix a massive conflict overnight.
No, and also, I get beggars can't be choosy, and we have put ourselves in a bit of a massive task, a few of us. Doesn't mean we just have to ally with whoever's convenient. I don't. Does anyone strongly advocate to ally ourselves with those people unless they get a new leader? They get an election or something. But we don't have to align ourselves with them just because we can. We have a choice.
But we do share a common goal and a common enemy. And I think against that common enemy, we could use as many allies as we can.
To me, working with the Mosshides is completely out of convenience. Once we're done, I'd wish not to speak with them unless they want to fight. But I will say personally, if the Riverpaws want help, then I will absolutely help them to repay the kindness that they gave me many years ago.
It's do you want quality allies or do you want quantity allies?
I don't even think these people are our allies. I don't. They're not our enemies, but they're business partners more than anything. An ally wouldn't threaten our lives just if we were unable to physically do something.
And I wouldn't even call us business partners. We didn't get a choice.
This is true. And I don't mean this anyway, Lawrence, but you may want to think about how a lot of these gnolls. How to say what I'm thinking. Your aim to help is honorable, and I think it's something that you should take pride in. But if you were in the perspective of some of them, I think they might be offended by you seeming so familiar with them, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I just... To be honest, I don't know any other way to act. It's only natural for me to speak candidly to these people, especially when this subject is so important to me. I don't think I really have it in me to do anything more than just speak my honest truth.
Lawrence, can I say something that might be a bit brazen and perhaps offensive?
Sure.
How do I put this? They're asked, if you were to join Mosshide, you'd be under serving under a matriarch like that, doing who knows what. When you served under the Fedor military, you did all sorts of terrible things just because you were given orders. Are you going to walk into another situation like that, trying to prove yourself to these people in some quest for forgiveness from them?
That
It
is
seems a bit misguided to me.
aye, that's a definitely a good point. To be honest, I wasn't really aware of that could be a possibility, but now that you mention it, it definitely could be. But with that in mind, I ultimately, after everything, even with the knowledge that I do want to atone for the terrible things I've done. I want to make it up to all Gnolls. My ultimate goal is not that. My ultimate goal is peace and prosperity for every living creature. And if the matriarch asks me to do anything that does not serve that purpose, then I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But I will not do anything that does not serve that purpose.
Just do what you think is right, not what someone else thinks is right.
I
I agree, and I feel like it is beyond understanding and important for you to embrace your new, or at least burgeoning, kinship with Knowles. But you aren't you didn't grow in their culture. I would really hate for you to diminish any part of yourself trying to fit into something that isn't really you. Like, I think you should totally explore those communities and try to make peace and relate to them. But I think my thoughts were also that you would look into the where communities as well. I wonder if you might find more people with similar lived experiences than just Knowles.
In
'Cause you're
fact,
very different, like, just like the way your life has turned out is going to be very different from that of the average Gnoll, I feel. And I don't want you to try to fit yourself in a box that just you don't deserve to be minimized to, you know?
I although to be honest, I'm not really concerned with fitting myself into any box right now. We've got bigger fish to fry. My box that I'm trying to fit into is you all. That's the important people to me.
well, that's... I can appreciate that. Perhaps, perhaps even Matriarch Courtier can give you some advice if, well, if things are going well, and it is out of the way, and personally I'd rather avoid it, but there's a good amount of people in Gearvine that might give you some enlightenment.
You mean people with experience of lycanthropy, yes?
Well, aye, that, and also, well, my auntie, she's a wise one. And also the Archdruid of the Grove there.
Aye. Maybe they will be helpful, but to be honest, that's not really my number one concern right now. My number one concern is the welfare of this continent, this planet, everyone on it. I
Nah,
can
we have a lot
figure
to
out more of myself and where I fit in, where I want to be after we've saved the world.
Very good point.
We are here.
Right. Shall we then?
And you guys, in the same manner, the averted gaze only reveals the details. What looks like a straight ahead path actually, when you look away, opens up into a big camp, just hidden right beyond the veil. Similar to the Mosshide camp, this one is also many different kinds of temporary structures. However, none of them have, like, I'm trying to explain it. I have a vision in my head and it's very hard to describe. They're all like mats set out on the ground and like built up sleeping areas. But there's no tents, there's no walls, there's no ceilings or roofs or anything. Everything is like open air. And you kind of walk in, and for the, it's winter where you came from, but it is very nice and pleasant weather here, wherever here is. You see the same mixture of gnolls milling about. However, here you do see a slightly wider variety of peoples. You see, the standard orcs, goblins, but there's also what look like dwarves, maybe a dragonborn or two, a kobold perhaps. They're all kind of milling about. A lot of them are meditating on their sleeping pads. Some are casting magic, some are, talking in a big group in the middle. And they all, a lot of them seem to take notice as you trundle on in on your big carriage. Easily the biggest structure in the camp.
Dork will put down his hood and just sort of like he will take a sorry, oh geez, mixing up my words. He will give a sigh of relief because it's starting to feel a little bit more like home.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception check, Dork.
Can we say Lawrence used some cure wounds to heal Ember on the way here?
Oh, that's right. Yes, you guys had a short rest on your way here.
Oh,
My mistake. So yeah, roll those hit dice, regain your health.
By the way, that was a 10.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Let me know when you guys are done with your short rest.
Lawrence will also definitely use some cure wounds to help Ember to a more healthy state.
Okay. I believe, Ember, you also have Song of Rest or something like that.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. We so rarely do short rest, I always forget to do it.
That is true.
Okay, so everyone can just regain one extra 1d6 hit points.
The 1d6 or 1d8?
1d6.
Okay.
Remember, I'm only level 7 bard. I think it
That's
upgrades
right.
later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ember, heal an additional 14, not 14, 24 hit points, and I use 2 level 1 slots.
Yeah, alright. Your throat
How are you looking
feels
right now?
Your throat feels a lot less scratchy.
Good.
Dork will also, during that short rest, fix up Dearest.
Okay. Yeah, I guess this is a short rest since the fight, so...
Wait, what the hell? Cure Wounds got a major buff in the 2024 rules.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do one more Cure Wounds at level 2 for Ember, and then that'll be it.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. That is, god damn, that's some good healing. Another 27.
Good lord.
Yeah.
I think it brings him up to max.
Yeah. That is some good healing.
Alrighty. You guys enter the camp, and the two gnolls that have been escorting you say, "Get off."
Dork will park the carriage and he will hop off.
Lawrence will follow suit.
Me too.
Yeah, well,
They lead you to the near center of the camp, where there's a large congregation of gnolls and other people. At this point, Dork, you do see your old... Would you consider her a friend, Kratir?
Yeah, a respectful
Mhm.
friend, yeah.
You see Kratir sitting in like a lotus position on a mat, and the congregation has been everyone sort of, it looks like it's a sort of prayer, like a group prayer session almost. Everyone's in a circle around Kratir, holding hands up, holding paws up, and just kind of silently mouthing something. And as you approach, the whole circle splits without anyone ever opening their eyes or anything. It's like they can sense you coming. And Kratir turns, opens her eyes. She is very old. Her whole coat is pretty much gray and splotchy. There are patches where her bare skin shows through. But she still has that soft face that most of the Riverpaw gnolls have. And you see her eyes are very tired, but as soon as she sees you, Doric, her eyes lighten up a little bit. And she says,
Doric? Is that you?
Matriarch Katir, it's very good to see you. And I will approach her and give that nice greeting that she taught me.
Thank you. You may rise.
I'm glad to see that you're, well, the conflict hasn't caught up with you just yet.
It is doing a toll.
How have your people been?
I have heard word that you have something to give us.
Well, give you, in a way, yes. We, the Matriarch of the Mosshide is, how do I say this? Giving us to you to help you with, breaching Mirain.
I suspected as much. The Mosshide, the Gistaxkus, they are very heavy-handed.
Aye, you could say that.
You look not too beaten up. It is good. Normally she is, well, not fond of outsiders.
Well, her people almost did kill us. It took a bit of persuading. And admittedly some violence. She did almost kill one of us.
I'm sure they deserved it.
She's going to hold up a paw and speak in Abyssal and says,
We are done here. Meet when we next meet. Good night.
and the crowd around her will dissipate, and you will all be offered a seat around her on the ground.
So, a way into Mirain is what you offer?
Well, my friends and we've been traveling around quite a bit, and we found ourselves in very, very strange predicaments. And we seem to have a habit of getting into places that seem to be incredibly dangerous. And, well, we weren't really given a rundown of the situation in Muraine, but regardless, we have a keen interest of getting inside. And you will have our expertise and wiles, I guess.
Must introduce me to your compatriots. Should I trust them?
Indeed, Matriarch, I assure you, you can trust them. Let's see. Ember Delight. Great storyteller. Careful, he has a silver tongue. Amherst McKinnon. He's very knowledgeable on the arcane as well. And then Lawrence Colmer. He's been our shield for quite a number of scrapes.
Lawrence is going to try to do his best recreation of the bow he saw Doric do.
Okay.
And say nothing.
It is nice to meet you. A friend of Doric is a acquaintance of mine. I suppose that you have passed through the Mosshide, that you are true to your word. I trust. Have Vokor, has she told you anything about what is going on in Mirain?
No, not really. Just that there's some sort of barrier shielding the entire place, but
I shall show you.
She's going to hold out her hands, and a spectral crystal ball is going to appear. And then she's going to cast the... I think it's the Seeing. Is Seeing the spell? I think it is. It's been so long.
Scrying?
Scrying, thank you, yes. She's going... That's why I play Barbarians. There's too many fucking things to remember. She's going to cast Scrying, and it's going to appear as a sort of vision atop the crystal ball of a familiar city, Doric, town bordering city, to you, Murray. It's on the banks of some swampland to the northeast, and then to the southwest is the outer boundaries of the Great Forest of Fedor. Oh no, your Wi-Fi went down? Can you hear us now? I guess not.
Dork's face will get a little dark as he sees it. Oops.
We will wait for Moss to return. What part of this session was inspired by my proclivity for dominant women? The world may never know.
I think the world might already know.
I think you answered your own question.
Look, I just think hyenas are cool.
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
If
Hello.
Ember had been straight, being choked by a dominant woman he would have been into that, but unfortunately.
Whoa.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
When did you cut out?
Doric had just introduced us,
Okay. Yeah, so that...
and she, like any friend of his, is an acquaintance of mine.
Okay. She had cast the scrying spell to show the party what Murrain looked like. And I was explaining that. So you see a large town bordering on small city, with a large swamp, wetland to the northeast, and the outer edge of the Great Forest of Fedor to the southwest. Doric, you're familiar with the style of building. There's a lot of, wood structures on the outskirts, but on the center, surrounding the center, is a large opaque dome that glistens and glitters with a magical aura, completely obscuring the center of the city.
So only the center of the city is covered?
The outskirts, so you're looking at probably like 3/4 of the city are under the dome. So, yeah, and that dome was not there last time you were around the city. Or the town.
Doric will just stare to the orb with a very, grim, kind of a little bit angry looking.
And I will say, Lawrence, you also recognize this town, of course. Lawrence is muted.
Does the magic making up the dome look familiar? Like, does it resemble anything we've seen, perhaps even cast by the Harbingers?
Give me an Arcana check.
Could I do the same, or
Sure.
help?
Yeah, you can do the same.
That is a 23.
Okay.
Just Arcana?
Yep.
18.
It doesn't look like anything you've faced before, Doric or Emrys. And it doesn't give you any clues as to its relation to the Harbingers of the Daybreak Society or anything like that. You can't quite get good details, but you do see various runes glow and move across the surface of this orb, which typically you can barely make them out, but you got a good Arcana roll. It's it looks like it's being generated from within the dome. That's almost the only thing you can really make out.
So I spent time in Murrain, right?
You did? Yes.
What do I remember about that time there?
Yeah, at the time you spent there, I believe it was... How long ago was that? Let's see. Lawrence is born. Lawrence moves to Moraine. That was about, let's see, we're year 155. That was 15 years ago. You remember it being heavily militarized at the time. It was specifically more or less a training ground for soldiers. Barracks, training facilities, guards stations, forward operating bases, that kind of thing. That kind of what you were looking for?
Yeah, that helps. And so the barrier was still there.
No, the barrier was not there last time you were there.
Oh, okay.
This is all new.
I don't recognize the magic that makes up the barrier, but are there any townspeople about on the outside of it?
No, and as you look closer, you notice that all the buildings on the outside are either abandoned or razed.
Spirits, that's... I'm guessing the town was not this messed up when I last saw it years ago.
No, it was a very healthy, thriving town last time both of you had seen it. And I mean, it could still be underneath, but the outskirts are definitely very, very not good.
I'll ask Matriarch, what happened to the townsfolk there? I remember there being, well, just a town of people.
The other clans have launched attacks upon it. Have done damage. The rest of the citizens have withdrawn inside the dome.
Are you familiar with whatever magic that makes up that?
Not. But I do have a potential way to get around it. And seeing as you are in debt to Volkor, you are the perfect candidates. Do you have any idea where we are currently? Not the camp, but at a larger scale.
In the Great Forest?
Partially right. We are in a boundary layer between the material plane and the Feywild.
Oh, that's clever.
Just close enough to the material plane to avoid the... what do you call it? The time issues. And just close enough to the Feywild to avoid detection. It takes a lot of manpower to maintain these rivers, the pathways. I believe we could use the Feywild and sneak underneath the barrier. I don't believe that it would extend into the Feywild.
Perhaps that could work. I mean, I'm also very skilled in... Well, I've recently learned that I'm quite skilled at breaking magic. Although that might cause a bit of a a bit of an alarm.
Indeed. I don't believe, forgive me for doubting your arcane prowess, but I don't think you could break that. And I am not sacrificing any more of my druids to attempt to do so as well.
I mean, all I have to go off of is just looking at that thing and the fiendish prison that we broke into. But regardless of that, I mean, if we manage to get inside, we can find out whatever is making that barrier. It must be pretty powerful if few of the Gnoll clans are working together to try and break it.
It is the final objective of this conflict. We bring that down, we will finally have peace.
Peace. That's... Forgive my surprise, but... Well, I guess I have been quite away from Fedor and your lands. But,
We, as
is the
in,
Fedoran military still fighting you?
it will, of course. But they have to go through the entire forest to reach us, and it would not be worth it. Mirain is their last stand.
That means the garrison is gone.
It is still there, but they get their supplies from Mirain. A simultaneous attack by the clans would overwhelm.
I suppose that could definitely work if we can destroy that barrier. But, Matriarch, might I ask you some strange questions?
I suppose.
Have you ever heard of, the Daybreak Society?
Those words, I have not heard them, yet they bring pain to my ears. I do not know why.
They're people responsible for much pain to the Gnoll clans. All of them, honestly. As well as to me.
Did they have anything to do with the Stoneclaw massacre?
I'll look over to Lawrence for a second. Yes, they were. I will not speak for him, but my friend Lawrence might be interested in speaking to you. And as I said before, regardless of past actions, I assure you, my friend, these are my friends, and they are to be they are trusted to me.
It's Daybreak Society, you say they are connected with the Fedoran military? Or no?
That they are. I'm not sure where the military ends and they begin, but they are serving the same purpose.
See. And you believe they are the cause of this shield around the town? Or connected?
Well, I've seen people associated with them use very advanced magic similar to the shield. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Daybreak Society that was responsible for it. But I also know wherever they are, they're doing something that they should not be doing. That is hurting innocent people. We need to stop it.
So, you are willing to undertake this task. I suppose Vokor did not give you a choice, and to be honest, I am in agreement with her that this must be done. But you see, it will be dangerous.
We are quite used to that, honestly.
Do you have any questions? It has been a while since we've talked to Torek.
I wish we could have met again during better times.
There is no better time than now. Anyone else have any questions? I would be glad to answer.
Does someone else want to go?
I do have a potential question for her.
Please, go ahead.
Excuse me if this is a not well thought out or even offensive question, but I've seen there is conflict even amongst the Gnoll tribes. I mean, the Gnoll clans.
Of course, yes.
Has this always existed?
As far back as I and my lineage can remember, there has always been discrepancies among the various clans. Discrepancies and disagreements between who we worship, our lifestyle, way of living. It's always seems better to just live separately. Not get in each other's way, but the encroachment of the Fedor peoples forced us together. It has made worse a lot of those disagreements. We had to fight together as one or be trampled as many. What do you know of the clans?
Not very much, to be honest. But I know that there are certain clans that do not get along. And there are certain clans that do not value the same things.
The two clans you have met so far, the Riverpaw and the Mosshide, or in our tongue, the Gizdaxkus and the Yaibaxkus. We are the only two nomadic tribes, meaning we have suffered the least in this conflict as we have been able to pick up and move as needed. The other four, they suffer. The Grimfur in the Canbriar and the Black Fang, they do not get along at all. Their lifestyles are too different. but like I said, forced together.
I don't know if we have time to help, but on the off chance that we do, would you have any way of being able to connect us with those other 4 clans?
3 clans.
Sorry, 3 clans.
It is hard sometimes, I know. There are magics to reach out to the respective matriarchs of each one. It is up to them if they take heed or even listen. The closest ally that could be considered an ally would be the Luaxracus, the Cairnbriar. But I do not believe it would be a good idea to contact them. They are, of the 3, they are an outcast.
Why are they outcasts?
They practice the various dark arts of psychomancy. It is forbidden in other clans. Though I do feel as if the other 3 clans also practice forbidden arts, so it could be by bias.
Psychomancy.
Indeed.
We ran into an expert in psychomancy in Krobin. A Gnoll.
What was this Gnoll's name?
His name is Nar Sootbone.
I know not of the name. But if I am right, he is likely also Cairnbriar.
Well, he was regardless of his clan allegiance, he is actually quite detrimental in saving the life of our friend.
He was detrimental in saving the life?
I'm sure it was also a what's the word? A convenient way of research into his field, but regardless, he still saved our friend's life.
You mean integral?
That's
Did the wrong mitzvot.
I thought my knowledge of common was slipping.
Same here. I prefer Sylvan.
Oh, we can speak Sylvan if you want. I just didn't know if your compatriots knew it.
No, I don't think so.
All I would ask is that if you do go out of your way after all of this is over, you avoid the Black Fang. They are the most dangerous. The Rekelekus. They are Yinogu's chosen.
The Regalicus are another clan?
The Black Fang.
Oh, that's another word for them.
Each of yes, this is in the Gnollish abyssal tongue, is the Rekelekus. Black Fang.
Right. And what was the last clan you said? There was the Canbriar, the Black Fang, and one more?
The Grimfur. They, of all the 4 major clans, they are the smallest and most pacifist. They have completely abhorred Inoku, so it's clear that they and the Black Fang are constantly enemies.
There sure is a lot of politics.
I could say the same for men.
No matter where we look.
Well, we visited Tano. It was quite a bit of a. It was a bit much.
So, are you prepared to travel beyond the veil now, or would you like a break first?
There were some other things that I wish to ask you, if that is all right with you.
Of course.
Have has there been any issues with my home of Gearvine?
I know not
Have
of
either the
Gearvine.
Sorry, what was that?
I know not of Gearvine. We do not tread so far into the forest. Even with our veils, it is unwise.
If that's so, then that's probably the same for the military, so I'm glad. And in your scrying of Muraine, have you... This sounds a bit strange, but have you seen any cloaked figures with strange masks or, well, bright-looking faces? I know that might sound strange, but...
It is not strange, but I cannot say I have seen those. I do not use this all the time. I have much more important things to do. I have other... We try to stay out of the conflict as much as possible. We support the other clans when they ask, but we have the obvious advantage of being able to hide quite well.
Of course. Then I won't bother you with more questions then.
Very well. So, what shall it be?
Well, Dork will look to the other party members. Well, do we need to prepare a bit more, or are we ready to really jump right in? I know when we first ran into the Mosshides, we did get into a bit of a scrape, so might not be our best.
I wouldn't mind a night's sleep or something like that.
Yeah, sometime to mentally prepare, I guess.
Just to rest for some time. Some might say a long time. It might be nice.
I wouldn't mind having time to prepare myself for going to Muraine.
Very well. You can take up a spot on any area that is open.
Is there a place that we might move our traveling carriage that isn't in the way of anything or anyone?
No one is in the way of anyone. They will make their way around.
Alright, then we might stay in there. In fact, Matriarch, would you like to see... I think with your magical expertise, would you like to see the magic that I've put into this construct?
Is it interesting?
Oh, absolutely, it's interesting.
And I would
Especially
like to
with
see this.
especially with your clan's ability to bend the spaces.
He gets up and, kind of
Lead the way.
I am going to walk her over to the carriage, and I will open the door for her. And I will welcome her in.
Very impressive, Doric. This is your group's main method of travel, is it?
Aye, that's right. We've done much on foot, so I thought it best to make things more comfortable. It started out as just a little experiment, but it grew into something better. It's given me something to do over while thinking about other things.
Very, very impressive. Thank you for showing me this.
That means a lot, Matriarch. Thank you.
I have to put up a better face than our siblings in the Mosshide.
Before we rest for the night, well, I can't speak for my other friends, but is there anything I can do for you as well?
Succeed on your mission.
Well, I'm certain we'll find a way.
But no,
Things just seem to work out.
there is nothing you can do for me right now. I appreciate it, though.
Very well. Then I shall not keep you from the rest. Whatever rest you can get.
She takes her leave, goes back to her mat, and reassumes the lotus position she was in, and goes back to meditating.
She is so swell.
I love her.
The rest
By the
of
way,
you... Oh, go ahead.
Before we get comfy for the night, I wanted to check, can I take out Quark's magic compass and see what it does?
Yeah. It is spinning rapidly.
Yeah, okay.
As it should be.
Yeah, I'll just put it away. I just wanted to see.
Okay.
Since Matriarch mentioned the Feywilds.
You guys do anything before you guys bed down for a rest?
Narn.
Not
Nar, he's not here.
I think so.
Well, if he was, I would do him.
Crazy.
Real.
She's speaking her truth. I mean, haha, April Fools.
That's how I know I make good NPCs.
Wild.
All right then. Then in that case, you guys bed down for the night, or the twilight. The level of light in this realm never really changes from twilight. It's constant dawn or dusk. But
Wow,
you guys...
this is just like that Legend of Zelda game.
You do feel yourself getting tired, and within the cabin, it is not a distraction. So, with that, you guys bed down for a hopefully restful night before you enter your second planar adventure. With that, we will bring the session to a close. Yippee! Nice little.
These have been some very, very cool sessions with all of this Gnoll stuff.
I'm
A
glad
lot
you're
of
enjoying it.
lore.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. The Gnolls have been, like, one of my favorite lore pieces to kind of build together, and I've had this since, like, before the Tano arc.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
It shows with how they're giant women that beat up men.
Yippee! That, actually, I didn't even really consider making them matriarchal societies until, like, a couple months ago when I was watching a biology documentary on hyenas, and I was like, wait, they
Yeah.
women.
It fits very well.
Originally in Dork's backstory, Doc, Kertier was actually a guy.
That's right. Canon
Look what-
trans femme.
Fuck yeah.
And, even better, the Riverpaw clan love to eat bugs.
They do. That's why they're pacifists, because the Aardwolves are the only insectivorous hyenas.
I wonder how they would feel about the people of Snowtooth.
I was gonna say, I think they'd like Snowtooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
For the
very.
wrong
When we
reason.
save the world, we need to start introducing people to each other, just randomly.
Goodness.
I'm really tired. I'm gonna head out, guys.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, players. Thank you, spectators. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.